Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ronquillo. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. I'm super excited to show you guys a device that is really blowing my mind right now. I've honestly been looking for something like this for quite some time. This is the Virtual Jeff Pro Whammy device. Now, full disclosure, they sent me this device to try out, but all of the opinions stated are mine. So what is the Virtual Jeff Pro? Think of it as a whammy effect that can go up and down in pitch with the help of this trem arm controller. You can place it anywhere on any kind of instrument, including acoustic guitars. But more than that, it's also a virtual capo, but with the benefit of going down in pitch, so you can mimic things like baritone and drop tune guitars. You can also freeze or hold the pitch during a bend, as well as blend your normal unaffected guitar signal with the pitch shifted whammy signal for some really cool effects. But the most exciting thing for me is that it can mimic one of the most unique and elusive tremolo designs and a favorite of the late great Eddie Van Halen. I'm talking about the Steinberger Trans Trem. And if you're not familiar with the Trans Trem, it was a locking tremolo designed by headless guitar guru Ned Steinberger, which allowed you to raise and lower the pitch of each string equally in parallel, so chords would stay in tune when you moved the bar up or down.
So I can go, or down.
Now, my thoughts right off the bat after using this for a couple days, the tracking is amazing. Now, this is a digital model, if you will, of a high-tech whammy bar slash whammy pedal. There's no moving parts that are physically bending or lowering the pitch of the strings. There's no latency that I can hear, and tonally, sometimes I can't even tell that it's on. It's pretty transparent considering all that it does and the DSP and the processing power that it has. So I just wanted to show off some of the features and demonstrate all the cool things that you can do with it. Before we get started, if you're into these kinds of videos, make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay notified of whenever I go live or whenever I release a new video. So when you unbox the Virtual Jeff Pro, the brains of this whole operation is this pedal here. This is where you connect the whammy bar controller as well as run your guitar signal through. The carrying case holds the whammy bar controller as well as all the included cables and stick-on mounting brackets. Now there's two ways you can connect the controller to the pedal. Either via cable, which this comes with a 13-foot data cable, or wirelessly using the Mini-Link 2.6 gigahertz wireless transmitter. Hooking it up was very easy. You just mount the whammy using the adhesive backing on the bracket. I mounted it to my Charvel Jake Lee. This has a hardtail, no tremolo, so I thought it made sense. But you can put it on guitars that have tremolos already, as well as acoustic instruments as previously stated. Then all you do is plug the whammy controller into the foot pedal, or you can use the Mini-Link for wireless operation. I'm plugged in via cable just because I'm sitting down and it's right here. But then you just plug in your guitar 1/4-inch cable into the pedal, and then the pedal out to your amp or your pedal board if you'd like. Power it up and that's it. You don't have to hook it up to any weird Bluetooth app or anything. So you have 3 foot switches on the Virtual Jeff Pro pedal. You've got the first one, which turns on and off the effect. So you can barely hear any kind of switching going on, which is awesome. Now, if you look along the top of the pedal with these numbers, you can see this is where you would set the max pitch up and down of the bar. It basically goes down in half-step increments. You actually go 5 half steps, and then it skips the 6th half step and goes right to the 7th half step. Maybe that 6th half-step interval down is not really usable. From the 7th half-step, it goes down to 12 steps, which is basically an octave down, and then 24 steps, which is 2 octaves down. Now, on the upside, you have a similar half-step, movement. You've got 5 half steps, then it jumps to the 7th half step, 8th half step, and then you've got 12, so you have an octave up. I think anything higher than that would probably annoy my dogs as well as every dog in the neighborhood. So the middle foot switch allows you to toggle between 2 presets, A and B. For me, I have A set to 2 steps up and 2 steps down, which is basically a whole step up and whole step down. On my B presets, I go a little bit crazier, and I have an octave down and an octave up for that, really kind of whammy pedal effect. And obviously you can set each direction however you'd like. It doesn't have to be equal steps. Sometimes I like to have 2 steps down and then 3 steps up, which would be a whole step down when I depress the bar. And when I pull up the bar, it would be a minor third. The third foot switch is your virtual capo. So you can use this to set a static pitch up like a real capo. Right now I have it up 3 frets. Or you can actually set it down lower than standard if you want to mimic things like a down-tuned guitar or a baritone or even a bass. Now there's 2 other features that require an external foot switch, which isn't included, but FOMO Effects was kind enough to send me. And you can also use any kind of on-off foot switch, but they gave me the dual foot switch, the Ampero dual foot switch, which controls both of these features. So the hold feature allows you to bend the pitch with the bar, and while it's bent, you press down on the hold function and it will hold that pitch location. On the other switch, you've got the blend feature, which allows you to blend your dry, unaffected guitar signal with the pitch shifting signal for some really cool sounds. So that actually signifies the mix of the dry and the blend. 4 and the 5 would be kind of 50-50. Something that I learned on the website is you can actually mimic like a chorusy type of sound. You have the blend mode on and you raise or lower the pitch just a hair and then hit the hold button. Now when you do that, with the blend and the hold, the trem controller doesn't work. So some obvious benefits with this setup is your guitar won't go out of tune as much. And you won't probably break a string because everything is done digitally. One thing is it takes a little getting used to the feeling of where the pitches are and kind of the sweep of the bar, and it's kind of dependent on where you have the pitches set. If you're interested in the Virtual Jeff Pro, I have all the links down in the description. Big thanks to Peter and FOMO Effects for letting me check this out. I have a feeling I'm going to be using this a lot. If you enjoyed this video, please click that thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, gear demos and guitar lessons, click that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. I'm RJ Ronquillo, and I'll see you in the next video.